changed the way we viewed everything. In places that America calls developing countries or third world countries, we have found people living better on far less, but are much happier. They have much higher quality of lives than we did back in the States. Through our experience traveling through lesser developed countries, we have discovered that the system in America is not broken by accident. It is broken by design, and it is something that we all need to start talking about more. Let's be honest, for a lot of Americans, especially in rural areas, life isn't just hard, it's broken. And if you're living it, you don't need statistics to know what I'm talking about, but let's go over some anyway, just so that you know you're not alone. 1 in 8 American failure.
Hello brothers and sisters, I'm hoping that you are doing great from whatever you're watching this video from. Now, this woman is a perfect example of those group of people that were lied to about the United States. You see, there was a lie that was sold, and the lie was sold to majority of people. The lie was that things were going to change, things were going to be better. The United States was going to be better, and the United States was going to make people achieve their dream. There is also a lie that they told people. They told people that if you work hard, you are going to achieve everything. And so, as time went by, people came to realize that all things that they were being told was a lie. And people are waking up to a reality that the United States is just another fiasco. The United States sold a dream, sold things that it could not achieve. People woke up with what? Disillusionment. People woke up with what? Hopelessness. Now, the United States is full of hopelessness, and everyone is just sleeping to that one up. When will things get better? Brothers and sisters, I'm gonna let you watch this video and then I'll be back, and then we'll be talking about these issues because it is real. Things are getting out of hand, and people are no longer seeing the United States as that safe haven that it was, that place where people believed in their dreams. Although we still have people that are saying that the United States is still their home and they'll fight for it, make it become what it's supposed to be. What's your thoughts, brothers and sisters? Because do you think it's worth it to fight for the United States, or do you think it's not worth it? Let the United States crumble, let it be for what it be. Are you a person who will fight for the United States, or are you a person who is planning to flee the United States? At the end of the day, the answer is in your hands. So I'm gonna let you watch this video and then I'll be back. We'll have a great discussion in regards to this. Stay tuned. As you know, I'm your host and presenter, Genok Stories. And if you're watching me for the first time, I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel. Join the membership if you find the values in the video that I share with you. Until then, I'm hoping to see you after watching this video, where I'll be giving up my commentaries in regards to this. So let's watch the video. I'll be back.
That is what happens when your country treats basic human needs as a profit opportunity. For most of our lives, we have lived in the southern Appalachian region of East Tennessee, and then later we moved to Southwest Virginia. We not only have personal experience with this, but we also watch the struggle of our entire families. So this story isn't just about us. It's about our community, our friends, our loved ones, and it's about a lot of you. We did everything to make it work. We grew our own food. We bought things secondhand. We took care of our stuff. We fixed stuff when it broke instead of buying new things. We were not materialistic. We were super frugal and lived below our means, debt-free. We just did all the things that we felt were right. But still, no matter how frugal we were, no matter what we did, we still could never truly break out of the system. And it's not just us, it's our loved ones, our grandparents, aunts, cousins, neighbors. They are all working so hard and they're still struggling. They work in factories, construction jobs, in slaughterhouses. They're CNAs, they're teachers. These are irreplaceable jobs that are vital, but yet they're still not paid a living wage. The constant fear of your car breaking down or a illness that will keep you from going to work and paying your bills, let alone a doctor's visit. One bad month that can completely wipe you out. That isn't freedom, that is survival mode. And that's what it feels like to millions of people across the US. This is the country that is the wealthiest nation in the world, and a huge percentage of the population can barely make ends meet. So we made a decision that most people don't even think is possible. We left. We started traveling Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, and what we saw completely changed our viewpoint of what a poor country actually looks like and what's possible when a society prioritizes people over profit. We weren't looking for much when we left the US. Honestly, we were just looking for a more affordable place to survive and have a higher quality of life. But what we found when we got here was something we never really expected. We found access to healthcare, to affordable housing, affordable transportation, fresh food, amazing community, safety in countries that we had been told our entire lives were third world countries. In Thailand, there's universal health care. In Vietnam, 90% of people are covered by public health insurance, and healthcare costs are much lower. While we were in Vietnam, we had to take our 2-year-old to the ER after a head injury, and we paid a little over $7 out of pocket to be seen, and that was without health insurance. Meanwhile, in America, it can cost $300 just to go to the doctor and thousands of dollars for an ER visit, and that's with insurance. And the food here is so healthy. It is fresh. It's grown locally. There are neighborhood street markets on every corner. It is affordable food, even when you compare it to the wages that the people make here. There's fresh vegetables and fruit and meat and spices and pre-cooked to-go meals that you can just grab and take home with you that are made by local families. Even the poor families here eat well. They have access to affordable, healthy foods. It's not owned by corporations. It's not profitized. It's just local people feeding each other. Compare that to rural America, where processed food is more affordable, maybe the only thing available, and people may have to drive 20 miles just to get to a grocery store. In the community here is strong. They are still very much family oriented. Families live together, elders are respected, children are respected, people know their neighbors, they look out for each other, even us, even being foreigners, even not being from this area. Just the community vibe that we get, particularly with our 2-year-old, we feel so safe and accepted here. Listen, we've been told our whole lives that America is the greatest country in the world. And I'm not here to bash America. There are some amazing things about America. I love certain parts of being American, of course. I'm not denying that. But we still have to acknowledge the problems that we are facing. A lot of us are facing and are truly struggling. We've been sold the lie that if you work hard enough, that if you sacrifice enough, everything is going to be okay. But what I've seen overseas is that a good quality of life is not only about wealth and making more money. It is about priorities. These countries aren't perfect, far from it. No country is, but they are prioritizing healthcare, affordable housing, transportation, community care, basic human dignity. While in America, that is slipping away for millions of people. So when people ask us, why did we leave? Isn't it scary to move abroad? Our answer is no. What's scary is being one hospital visit away from losing everything. What's scary is watching people that you love break down from stress, debt, and isolation in the richest country on earth. If you are struggling right now, if you're exhausted, anxious, stressed, just know that it's not your fault. You're not lazy, you're not stupid, and you're not broken. You are living in a system that was not designed for you to succeed. It's not designed to take care of you. It's designed to extract from you. We've all been sold the same story. If you work hard enough, if you follow the rules, if you keep your head down, then you will live the American dream. But that American dream just isn't true for most of us anymore. The cost of housing, food, education, healthcare have all skyrocketed, and wages have barely moved in 40 years. Meanwhile, billionaires are tripling their wealth and corporations pay almost no taxes. This isn't a failure of individuals, it is a failure of policies by both parties that over decades have prioritized profit over people. Us in America are owned by corporations. Everything is for profit. Our healthcare, our food system, things that are basic human needs. Our government bails out banks. They let corporations outsource jobs, slash benefits, and raise prices. They defund schools and healthcare in our towns. And you are just told to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I get told a lot that wages in these other countries are a lot lower than in the US. And yes, while that is true, somebody in Thailand can still pay for housing, food, healthcare, all of their basic needs, and still have money left over at the end of the month to save or have a little bit of fun with. While in the US, if you look at the same average wage and then deduct all of your meeting your basic needs expenses, healthcare, housing, transportation, all of that, there's no money left over. In fact, most people are going into debt just to meet their most basic needs today. So while the wages are lower in these developing nations, the cost of basic living expenses are also much lower. We have personally lost family members due to the healthcare crisis in the US. We have watched families not only lose their lives, but their homes. We have watched neighbors lose jobs, lose hope. And through it all, we've been told that it is our responsibility to fix it. But there's no fixing the system that is controlled by money when you don't have any to begin with. And the thing that is most frustrating is that this country has the money. It has the resources. But what it doesn't have is the desire to build a system in which ordinary people are able to survive and maybe even thrive. And that's why we left, not because we hate America, but because we wanted to be able to live. So you might be thinking, that's great for you, but I can't just pack up and leave the country. And I totally get that. I am not suggesting that everyone just pack up and move. I know that there are very valid reasons why a lot of people can't do that. But what we need to do is we need to wake up to the reality of what is going on. And you need to know that you are not trapped. You've just been told that you are. Step one is to question the narrative. Start asking yourself, who is benefiting from me believing that my suffering is normal? That I should have to work 2 jobs just to afford to pay rent and put food on the table? That I deserve to go into debt just to go to the doctor? You don't deserve that. Nobody does. The system wants you to believe that. They want you to think that you're failing so that you will work harder. It's your fault for not figuring it out. It's your fault for not working hard enough, for not getting the right college degree, for not having the right job. Step 2 is to rebuild your life around your priorities. Wherever you are, whether you live in rural America, the city, or another country, really stop and think what you want your priorities in life to be. Is it healthy food? You can start a garden or going to farmers markets or really deep diving in ways on how to source healthy, low cost foods. I have a whole playlist on my channel on the most affordable foods that we bought while we were in the US, and tons of recipes and everything that we were able to keep our grocery budget really low by eating very low cost but healthy foods. Do you want to establish a greater sense of community, getting to know your neighbors, building mutual support with each other, having that strong support system with your community? Are there things that you want to learn, which everybody should continuously be learning, reading books, learning about other cultures and countries? You don't have to go anywhere to learn these things. That's something that I'm going to be sharing here on my channel, or just the things that we learn as we're traveling around. Do you need to become more financially literate so that you can understand debt and savings and living below your means, budgeting? All of those things are still very, very important and very vital to living in a weak economic society. And step 3 is to consider your options. And yes, that might even mean thinking about leaving the country if that is a viable option for you. There are safe, affordable, family-friendly countries all over the world where you can live a higher quality of life than you have in the US. No country is perfect, but for us, it has been the difference between surviving and really living. If your health, your safety, your sanity, your children's future are at risk, you owe it to yourself to explore every possible option. No guilt, no shame, no apologies. Millions of people are waking up to the same realization that the idea of the American dream that we have been sold is a lie. But the human dream, to be healthy, to be safe, to be connected, to have enough, that is still alive and thriving in all of us. That dream is still possible, and the first step is refusing to continue to suffer in silence anymore. We're not just telling the story from the outside. We have lived the struggle, and now we're traveling around to different countries to find something that works. Not just cheaper places to live, but healthier, more connected, more human ways of life. We're searching for more affordable, sustainable options for ordinary people like us, and we're sharing them here in case you might find them helpful too. Because it's not just about finding a new place to live, it's about finding a new way to live. A new way to live that is sustainable for everyone, no matter where you are. So if you want to follow along and see what we're learning and unlearning, make sure that you subscribe, because I'm going to continue to share our experiences in all the countries that we visit. I know that there's other people like us that are searching for something different, that have felt the struggle and want things to be better. They just want to be happy and free. There is another way to live, so let's find it together. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.
Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great. Now, you've watched the video. You've heard this beautiful lady share her thoughts. By the way, she's called Raising Wildflowers. I hope you should go check her out, because she is sharing important messages that we need to have a discussion about. What I was so much interested in, we can honestly see the United States crumbling down, and everyone can see this. We can all admit that, we can all see that this is happening. Now, I was so much interested in what people had to say in regards to this, because I'm a person that takes words of the people. Like I don't only rely on me as a source of income or a person who gives commentary, but I also like taking people's opinion in regards to things that are happening. And so people were so much interested in saying what happened. Somebody saying that America not only don't know what's happening to them, they don't even know what they don't know. That's according to Noam Chomsky. That's what Noam Chomsky said. And I think it's time that we need to have clarity in what we really need as people, especially the Americans. They need to know like exactly what they need for this to work for them. Somebody said that the hamsters are finally questioning the wheel. Yeah, the wheel has been driven for the longest time, but nobody questioned the wheel. But right now, people are starting to question the wheel. And that means Donald Trump, the way he's driving the economy, the way he's making things not work for Americans. Somebody saying that there's a gentleman who say that America is not the richest country in the world. It's just the richest man in the world living in America, and you're not one of them. That's really deep. America is not the richest country in the world. It is that the richest men live in America. That makes sense, right? Somebody also say that this is what happens when others treat basic human needs as profit opportunity. Never better said. The corporates are really draining life out of Americans, and it's really sad that this is happening. But at the end of the day, it's upon the Americans themselves to choose like what they want to do. There are so many ways that they can do to beat the corporate, and I think this has been proven for the longest time. You can do your own farming, you can plant your crops and have your own source of food instead of relying or buying these things which are expensive. If you can cut off the price by planting your own crops or your own food, I don't think you'll have a problem, so much problem, right? Because you will not depend on the system that's trying to like exploit you, because this is what is happening. Somebody say that, like the late George Carlin said, it's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe in it. You have to be asleep to believe in it. That's why it's called American dream. So when you all wake up, you're going to understand that the United States is not yours. The United States belongs to the few people that are running the United States. Somebody's also saying that my definition for America is that it's a third world country with a lot of money pretending to be a first world country while living in the delusion that it's a superpower. Some also say that greed is the root cause of evil. Okay, let's listen to this one. I'm 69. 5 years ago, I had my first heart attack. Part of that bill is on my credit card at about 30,000. I'm currently way behind paying on it. Lawyers want 2,000 to declare bankruptcy. I don't have it. I'm worth more dead than alive. Every day feels more and more hopelessness. That's life in America. That's so sad. That's really sad that this is happening. But at the end of the day, that's the United States for you, right? Somebody said that my friend lived in Brazil, USA, and now in Switzerland, and she says USA is a third world with a Prada bag. Crazy. People also from outside America are saying, somebody from Indonesia is saying that as an Indonesian, where food is cheap, houses are still affordable, nature is beautiful, neighborhood feels like family, people hold on their religion, and we are far from things like drugs and alcohol. I'm really, truly grateful for what is happening over here. Somebody's saying that as an Aussie, we have known this for many years. It's only when Americans travel they start to realize how bad your systems are. Unfortunately, the uneducated tend to travel, not to travel, and will continue to exist in an insular dysfunctional society. Yeah, because what is coming out is that until you get out the United States, you'll understand that the United States is a third world country. America in general is a third world country. Somebody saying that I'm 68 years old, I'm an American man. My plan was to work until age 70 before retiring so I could max out my social security. Several years ago, I crunched the numbers and realized retiring in the US was an ugly proposition. My SS benefits could cover rent, food, utilities, and maybe insurance. I'd be living on a tight budget, and a minor emergency could wipe me out. After doing a lot of research, I started considering retirement in SA Asia. Last September, I took 3 to 4 weeks scout trip to Thailand and Cambodia to see if I liked it there. A couple of weeks, it hit me. I didn't want to go back to the States. I quit my job and got an apartment in Siem Reap, Cambodia. I've moved since a quiet coastal town in southern Cambodia called Kaput. I left about $600 a month on the table by retiring at 67.5 years, and that's just fine. My SS check pay for a much better lifestyle than what I would get in the US. My rent is only $250 per month, and that includes water and electricity. I don't have a car, but I bought a scooter, about $8,000. Gas cost me maybe $15 a month. If I went at a restaurant, a good meal night cost me around $3 to $5. I don't budget at all, but somehow my bank account increased by several hundreds dollars each month. I keep an eye on our life in the US, and I'm damn glad I got out when I did. Yeah, people are living so much well. People are living so cheap, and they're getting to understand life even outside money. And I think that makes sense when you get to see people are getting to realize life and getting out of the capitalistic nature of the United States, because it keeps you on the grind, right? It always keeps you on the grind. Somebody saying that I'm from India. I lived in the US for a while, middle income, about 55K. I was getting paid, but life was pretty hard. I rode a bicycle or a motorcycle, no car, lived in a small studio, LA, for $750 per month. I managed to save $2,000 per month. It was doable, but work was hard. I was being exploited by my employer and made 50-60 hours per week. I left back to India. I got a job for 20K, but I literally saved up to 70 to 80% of my money. And from a cost perspective, I was actually saving more in India than in the US. And I no longer felt depressed like I did when I was in the US. I can empathize with average American. It's not for the poor. America is not for the poor. So please, let me know what you think about this video, right? I really want to know your opinion in regards to this, because at the end of the day, we gotta talk about these issues. I'm your host and Vintage Tech Stories, but until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.